Man, I was 3 weeks in a row, Justin. You probably have a similar. You probably know how it feels, man. Just one after the other, man. I mean, it was crazy. I was in Buffalo, then I had Aljo in what the hell was I? Kansas City, and then just now
Buffalo, Kansas City, Nashville.
And Nashville, yes.
Wow.
I booked Matt's flights.
Yeah, I saw you in Buffalo, and we had Cynthia Calvillo and Josh Emmett that night fighting. But yeah, I took off Kansas City, and then Alex, of course, in Nashville. But man, you got Jim Norton. You got Matt Serra. I just got to tell you, yeah. I came back after Alex knocked out Matt Schnell. We came back to the hotel, and Raging Al was about to go report. We saw him, so I had to get a picture with Al, team favorite, tough live. And Matt Serra, the guy who knocked GSP and won, you know what I mean? In one, runs up and says, "Oh, you want me to take the picture?" And tries to grab my camera. And I'm like, "Dude, come on, get in the picture." I don't know, what a humble guy, man. It was crazy.
Matt is a very humble guy.
Wouldn't I be a dick if I go, "All right, let me get in the middle, guys. Give me, I thought you wanted a picture with Raging Al, but that was a nice picture, man. You should Instagram that or send that to me. But that was a good night for you, man. That's Cynthia, by the way.
Cynthia is great.
Yeah, that was a great fight with her, because that girl Pearl was a tough girl too, man. That was a nice fight. Yeah, Gonzalez, right?
Man, Pearl, if you count the rankings, I put her top, she's a top 15, top 20 in the world easy, just because she wasn't in the UFC. She's making her UFC debut, but, she's expected. There was a lot of hype around her, and it was deserved hype. She was 6-1. Cynthia was 4-0 at the time, and, it was a tough fight.
Man, she went for a nice arm lock on Cynthia. A very nice arm lock, but Cynthia, I'll tell you, was she always so scrappy? I mean, she looks like she enjoys her job.
Yeah, to say the least, man. I've never seen anything like it. Like, Cynthia's, trains with us, and I can tell you, she's the only girl that has gone through the fire of that. What we do at Team Alpha Male, like anything that Cody does, or Uriah does, or Chad does, Cynthia's right next to him in the room doing the exact same thing. And she really does enjoy her job. But I mean, to make strawweight history like that, 2 main cards in a row, and she wants to fight again. So, we couldn't be more happy with what Cynthia's doing right now.
And obviously, you're calling to promote The Ultimate Fighter, and we got Cody and TJ are fighting. Who are you rooting for in the big match?
Who am I rooting for? Well, I mean, it's kind of a lock on Cody. It's if you want to take the opinion of someone who knows these guys better than anyone in the world, it's got to be me.
That is true.
I've cornered TJ more than Dwayne has. You know what I mean? And I've known TJ longer and actually lived with him. We he came in the gym. I was fighting Mac Danzig. A long time ago, and he moved into my living room, TJ. So I know the guy really well, and now I train Cody, and I used to train with TJ, and Cody's gonna do real well in that fight.
And it's got to be awkward for you a little bit because you know both guys. Do you have any relationship with TJ at this point?
He occasionally likes some stuff on my social media.
Okay,
but not really. The last we talked was on the Ultimate Fighter show, and you could imagine how that was. I mean, every day there's some sort of incident.
Yeah.
Every time they lined up the teams and we had to sit next to each other for weigh-ins, something would happen,
Yeah.
Where it was like on the point of getting physical. So, the throat grab was just the start. The throat grab was the first day I showed up. So I missed the first week, and I walk in the door, and Seth Baczynski's fighting. He's already on weight. We do the weigh-ins, and then Cody grabs TJ by the throat. I'm like, all right, this is how this season is going to go.
That set the tone, I guess.
Yeah.
For the season.
Yeah.
Was TJ a good teammate when he was at Alpha Male?
Yeah, TJ was a good teammate. He has a sick work ethic, which separates him. You know what I mean, from the pack of fighters. Is just like they say about every champion, everyone who's successful, how obsessive he is in the sport. So I mean, and that's inspirational to guys on the team. And if you have a training partner that really pushes that hard, you can't help but try to keep up. So yeah, he was a good teammate.
And what is it that started the? I mean, obviously there's the whole Team Alpha Male TJ feud, but in your opinion on that, what exactly? I think every story has two sides, and we've heard TJ's side, we've heard the side. What exactly happened that he left under such bad blood?
So the main thing that happened was, we were a team for like 8 years as Team Alpha Male when Uriah hired Dwayne Ludwig to come in. And we were successful then. We had a title shot with Joseph Benavidez against Demetrius Johnson, and we trained him for that just as like a cooperative thing. I cornered him and helped run his camp and stuff, and he fought Demetrius Johnson to a decision. A split decision loss. He dropped Demetrius. And this was before Dwayne, and Chad Mendez had challenged Jose Aldo for the belt. Mendez had knocked out Cody McKenzie. You know what I mean? He knocked out Cody McKenzie in the first round, and then he knocked out Yeltsin Mates in the first round before Dwayne. You know what I mean? And TJ was in the UFC. We were a very successful team, and we were just like peaking, like climbing at that point. And that was when Dwayne started coaching us, and it just accelerated that. Like he was hitting like the big crest of a wave, and it just it was just couldn't be better. We actually had someone who was running practices who put us on a schedule, and would corner us and talk to us about fighting, because it was kind of every man for himself, but we were still a team, like I would run practice, TJ would run practice, I would run the majority of practices, but I was a competitive fighter at that time too. I had my own career to worry about, and we never had that guy, and Dwayne was that guy. And for a year, Chad got another 2 knockouts, but he had 2 knockouts before, and TJ knocked someone out, but he knocked someone out with Master Tong, and it couldn't have gone better. But that relationship with Dwayne just kind of started going south, just with him and Uriah. They didn't really get along, and Dwayne was planning on leaving. Like he just wanted to train, like get his name out there, and then go start his own academy, which he always talks about in Colorado. Right. So there was like kind of tension and drama with that whole idea, him just coming in and leaving, because that wasn't like made known early. Like we thought he was going to coach us and stick with us and whatnot. So the entire team, like while he came in, we just blew him up like nonstop, saying like, "Oh, Dwayne Ludwig," and when I first met the guy, he was blocked by Dana White on Twitter because he kept like I don't know why, but he had no social media presence. And after a year with us, he won Coach of the Year twice. He was with us for a year and like 3 months, and won Coach of the Year twice, because the second year he kept reposting us and acting like he was still with us, like on social media. And Fighters Only magazine is run by a bunch of morons. They don't even know what's going on in the sport. So. They named him Coach of the Year twice. He got this trophy, and then to bounce and like, then to leave and bring TJ, like convince TJ that the TJ was successful because of him. That was where where our relationship, me and Dwayne, I just didn't, I stayed quiet for a year, while Martin Campbell was coaching us, and he would. In like every interview, he'd talk about how like there's this famous podcast he did where he said, "No one at Team Alpha Male wants to be champion. TJ is completely different." Like it was just so disrespectful to say that to guys that he coached and we looked up to him, and to say that about a whole team. And then like I saw him again, he explained to me, "Oh man, I didn't mean to say that. I meant this. And I was like, "Yeah, but you still said that stuff, dude." It's like it's just hard to communicate with the guy. But things just started going south from there, and the beef with TJ, if you'd say beef, is like, dude, you eat with that guy, you wear all his shit, and he talks shit about us nonstop. You like wear all his gear, you support all his stuff. You can't even make we called you Killishaw, and now you make a Killishaw shirt with like a Dwayne Ludwig snake on it. I'm like, bro, you're losing it, man. Like, I don't know. It's just like. Just for Dwayne to convince someone that he's just responsible for everything good about the guy's career, get him to move. Like TJ's family, he grew up an hour from the gym. Like it's called Angels Camp, California, and his whole family lived there. He's like one of the best wrestlers from there. Team Alpha Male headquarters is an hour away. Now he lives in like Colorado. You know, doesn't know anyone out there. He was convinced to go out there. I just think it's just a slime ball move, man. It's like I see coaches like since I've been head coach, I see coaches like people work with fighters and they try to get them. They make them feel guilty when they don't hit miss with them. I'm like, dude, if they don't want to train with you, you should be like, good riddance. Like, go try to find someone better. Like, my shit is the best. Like, you know, you're not wasting anyone. I mean, you're not wasting anyone's time. Like, but you see these coaches get so attached to fighters, and that's something I saw there, and it's just a kind of a slimy move, man, to change that guy's whole life. And I mean, and you look at his fights, man. I mean, here's the brass tacks of it all is TJ left Team Alpha Male. His first time he fought not with Team Alpha Male, he lost the belt. He won the belt with Team Alpha Male. You know what I mean? Right. His first fight with Dwayne Ludwig, he lost the belt. Cody Garbrandt was unranked last year. So TJ loses the belt to Dominic Cruz. I think it was 14 months later, Cody Garbrandt wins the belt and brings it back here. The 135-pound championship left Team Alpha Male, not because we lost it, because our champion was convinced to leave by his coach. And so the 135-pound belt leaves. Like a year and a half later, it returns, you know, via Cody Garbrandt. Yeah. He goes and takes that thing. So, I mean, that kind of says, you know, the story. That says more than anything Dwayne can say or TJ can say or Cody or I can say.
Justin,
that was gone, and now it's back.
Yeah. Justin, let me ask you, does it come down to the loyalty thing? Is it really just hurtful to you guys? Because that's what... You know, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to run a team and, well, you know, to have, like, it's a big family. I know what that's like. Like, when I was coming up on the Renzo Gracie, like, I could never even picture, like, even now. I mean, that's just my instructor. And, like, I'm an old school guy. And is it just more of, like, the fact that you feel there's no code, there's no loyalty? Is that what hurts the most?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that for sure. It's just like, dude, it's like, we all came up together, and then this guy's been here for a year, and you're talking about loyalty. Yeah. I mean, I don't care about how good a relationship or how much you click, like, or how much, like, you know. I mean, he named the combo the TJ combo. You know, it was a combination that Faber used to do. Yeah, like this fake you know, a level change fake to rear uppercut. That's like the TJ combo. That was Faber's combo, and Dwayne comes in and names it that. They have a great relationship, but dude, you've been here for a year. You know what I mean? Yeah. You want to talk loyalty to a team like who you've been with since the start, or a guy who's come in and you've known for 1 year and you guys click really well. He holds some good mitts, I guess.
Well, Dwayne, you feel like kind of seduced TJ away. But what I was going to ask you, Justin, is there any indication between TJ and the other team members before? Like, was it one of those things where Dwayne came in and like, oh, there had been a little strife with TJ and the team members, or was it literally just Dwayne kind of came in and you think seduced TJ away?
Well, I mean, there was a relationship with Dwayne and Uriah. They never really like saw eye to eye on things. So I don't know. It's a weird situation. Like, yeah, I mean, to come in and then to have that kind of tension, and then, you know, he didn't really get along with everyone. Like Dwayne, he would have some really weird and bizarre coaching things. Like, you know, at the time I thought it was crazy. He said he didn't train with girls, you know, but now that I'm the head coach, I kind of understand where he was coming from with that, because training girls is a whole different ball game, you know. But he had some weird things that I didn't really think worked good for like a top level team, like, you know, his belting system, and it was just kind of like you know, it was really, really like, you know, if you're a white belt, you ain't shit, and it's like, but he decides if you're a white belt or not with the shirt that he gives you. Like, I'm like, all right, okay, you know, this guy's a, you know, 4-time All-American, but he's a white belt. Like, you know, this is an MMA room. Yeah, this is the guy who gets on the mat and who can do it is the man. You know, you want to talk? Yeah, that just that's kind of the way we run our room over here. You know.
Yeah, really quick, just to bring it back for a second. Now, the girls, they're a lot harder. You see what he means by coaching. What do you mean by that? Just.
I mean this. So just only if we only go by the numbers, like not take out emotions or whatever else you could factor in. Just cutting weight, like my coach.
That's funny. Take out the emotions and everything.
Take out anything
That's
about
funny.
that, or like say, a girl has to prepare longer to go do a TV interview on average. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Take all that out of it and let's go weight cut. So, my coach always told me, Master Tong. You know Master Tong.
Oh, I sure do. He's funny. He's funny.
He'd say, okay, cut weight. He's like, 4 pound, maybe 1 hour. So it's like, if you're doing work, like when you're down on weight, if you're working for about an hour, you're going to lose about 4 pounds, And with Cynthia, to lose 4 pounds, it's 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? It's double the time that it takes a man and another half hour on top of that. Like, how insane is that?
Oh, that is insane.
Yeah, so we're getting down to the last 4 pounds, and usually it take about an hour of work for a man, like, say, Chad Mendez or, Cody or someone. They could lose this easily. But for Cynthia, it's the same amount of weight, but the time is double. So, how touchy, a fighter can be during a weight cut. So make it twice as hard and make it last twice as long, and then make it a girl. And man, it's tough,
It's harder, yeah. Hey, and again, a question of rumor. We asked TJ, but is there a rumor of Cody knocking TJ out? Is there a video of Cody knocking TJ out in practice? I mean, I know you get asked that a lot, and it's been talked about, but we have to ask.
Yeah, no, for sure. So there's all this talk about it now. It's crazy, and it all started with TJ saying that he used to beat the shit out of Faber for years or something. Dominic Cruz kept calling him out. He's like, you're talking about a guy, who brought you in, and then you're saying you beat him up in sparring. And then Cody tweeted, you want to talk about sparring? Why don't you talk about the time I knocked you out? And then from there, TJ was like, no, that's not true. You never knocked me out. And then Cody hit me up and was like, hey, do you have that tape? And I was like, yes. And I looked on my files of sparring that I have. I have like hours and hours of me sparring, and I used to set up a GoPro and have myself sparring. So I was sparring one time in the room, and it was TJ and Cody. And Cody, this is the said tape. And so I have it. I actually showed it to Matt.
I seen it.
Oh,
yeah. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah,
but you did show it to me.
So
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
But I made him sign a confidentiality agreement right before. So
that's right. He spelled Sarah with 2 R's. He doesn't count. He misspelled it wrong. Okay, so that does exist. TJ was a little vague about it. He didn't necessarily deny it either. I don't think it's a big deal. It's one of those things that will happen in sparring. Sure, guys get the better of each other. Is it something you would release?
Well, I mean, he keeps saying to release it and stuff like that. I don't really want to release it. But he kept calling. I mean, he said it himself. Release the tape. They don't have the tape. I'm like, whatever. The tape's right here. It's on my phone, dude.
Why don't you release it then?
Yeah. Well, Jimmy. Well, not to answer. Not to answer
no,
that
I'm curious
for
as
you.
to what Justin. I'm not saying you should. I'm just wondering what his thinking is.
Yeah. Go ahead, Justin.
Well, I mean, hey, man, we got to build this fight. We still got 3 months. Like, take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Justin. Now, what do you think about that personally? Because I talked to you a little bit about that when you showed it to me, and you even were saying it's
sparring.
Like, yeah, it is. And so now, as the head coach, or even as a coach, even as a bystander with, a conscience, do you think it's right to put out there in a sense? Look, in jiu-jitsu, they say, well, you or in general, just the morally right thing. Now, like in other words, in jiu-jitsu, they say, you don't tap and tell because they have little sayings in sparring. What happens in sparring stays in sparring. And that leads to good sparring because otherwise everybody's going to not want to,
making a mistake,
not try out anything new or whatever. And, everybody can have an off day. And now that off day can be shown to the world. And at the time you guys were cool. Now you're not. So, I mean, what do you feel about that? What did kind of make sense to me, which I didn't know before, is that you said that TJ was bragging about doing well with Uriah. I didn't know that. So that definitely...
Yeah. So that's where it stems from, because I was even getting confused. I was like, man, where did this come from? Because just like you said, I think it would be completely wrong to release that tape because TJ was a teammate at the time. Cody was a teammate at the time. I was filming my spar, and they happened to come into the round. You know what I mean? And then the incident happened, and that's where it started. Was Cody was sticking up for Uriah.
Yeah.
And so I think it's wrong to release the tape, but not at this point. No, I can kind of do whatever I want because TJ said you don't have a tape. You guys are lying. Release the tape if you have it. So at this point, he said I could do it. So now it's kind of just my choice if I want to do it, and I still just don't really feel like releasing it. And
Maybe as time goes on.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, we're in the promotion business, we're in the entertainment business, and this guy told me to release it. So I'm big on social media, and I like promoting fights and whatnot. I mean, that's kind of the business we're in, and it's a pretty interesting subject. It's interesting to have it, and everyone keeps asking me about it, and we'll just see how it goes, I guess.
Well, yeah, definitely. Thank you for being honest about it too. It's so nice when somebody discusses things and openly. And obviously Cody is an emotional fighter. He was amazing against Dominic Cruz, and I think I've told Cody this. It's the only time I've seen anybody be able to get into Dom's head in the ring, because Cruz is a master at getting people annoyed and frustrated, and Cody seemed to be able to do that to him. Like, he out-cockeyed Cruz and did things that I never expected him to do, and I guarantee you that bothered Dominic on a level he might not be comfortable admitting. So do you think that is going to come into play against TJ Dillashaw?
100%. I mean, it's a pretty tough situation that TJ's in, man. I feel bad for the guy. Like, you can see the preview for the next Ultimate Fighter show. TJ's like, I didn't quit the team, and Faber's like, you're a bold-faced liar. And then, you know what I mean? It's like just crazy, like, drama. But it's like TJ's saying himself, I didn't quit, guys. It's like, dude, it's just crazy how things worked out where, he's on that side, we're on this side. Cody's my guy, man. That's the first world champion I've had as a head coach. Some coaches never have a world champion. This is my guy, and you're over there. You're with Dwayne. That's your guy. And there's a line, and we're fighting, and that's just the way it is. Whatever happens after the fight, after Cody beats TJ, if TJ wants to come back, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't know how Uriah or Cody or anyone else would feel about it, but I wouldn't be.
Might be a little awkward.
Yeah, it'd be
TJ.
real awkward, but.
Right. All right, you're cleaning the mats this week, fucker. You want to come back? Where's the spit bucket, you fuck? No, I'm only kidding.
But it seemed like so. Yeah, like when Rocky had to go back to the gym.
Yeah.
I dig your locker, man.
Yeah.
But it also seems like it was that Cody kind of grabbing him by the throat. And TJ said he didn't grab him that hard. But it seems like almost like Cody was getting emotional, and TJ seemed like he had his in check. Now, is that selective editing, or is Cody reacting a little stronger?
No, Cody's an emotional guy. You go stand next to him, man. You're asking for it. You know what I mean? This guy, but we're talking about a fist fight. You know what I mean? Sure. We're talking about a competition in 3 months. You know what I mean? We're not talking about him grabbing a throat on a reality show. That's whatever. Like, here's the thing we could walk around with. Like, no matter what happens on that season, what TJ does, how the fights go, how our team does, how their team does, we can walk around and know that on July 8th, Cody's going in there with all the advantages and the intent to stop TJ, and that's the plan. And we've been doing pretty good so far. So we could walk around with that confidence. So the show was the show. The show was to build that fight.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, grab him by the throat. TJ said it wasn't hard. Did you see it?
No. Maybe I'm misquoting it. He was saying it didn't hurt. Like, he was fine with it. Like, I think he almost. I mean, he's got to know that it helps promote the fight. It helps get people watching too.
I don't think that's why he did it, though.
Well, Matt Serra knows too. When the guy in the fight gets hit and he acts like it doesn't hurt, that means it rung his bell. Or
that's true.
Yeah, that's one of the truest things ever. Let me ask you, Justin, because we know you were a fighter. We know, or might still be a fighter. Are you done fighting yourself and just taking up the head coach job over there?
Yeah, I'm only coaching right now. Yeah, I'm only coaching right now. It's just such an occupying job. Like, I have to be 100% focused every second because the camp never ends. You know what I mean? It's like we Cynthia and Emmett fight 1 week, and then Cynthia and Elkins fight 1 week. 2 weeks later, it's Emmett and Cynthia. And then a week after that, it's Alex. It never ends, We're going right to Taru versus Gray Maynard, and then Cody for the belt.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a coach work with one guy, one world champion. You know what I mean? I got 30 guys. I got like 20 UFC fighters.
I hear you, man. I know how that busy schedule is. It's insane. What about what's his name? Where are you, buddy? In an elevator? What's going on over there? You in the subway?
No, I was just in the office.
No, it's
I got to run practice at 9:30. It's 9:27.
Oh, listen to me. We're gonna let you.
Push-ups. We do push-ups